Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the aging hiker. I've been asked to do this video a couple times. All right, let's just get into it real quick. Number one, I would like to, if it's okay with you, define aging hikers as anybody 40 and above. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that's around the age when people start to lose performance on trail for various reasons. And so I think, and again, we have to define performance, whether it's an ongoing chronic ailment that you have, whether it's a dietary restriction. It could be so many things to so many people. First, I think firstly, we should discuss physical problems that you may have or may encounter as you're going. So let's begin by talking about gear. Now, because of your age, and you probably have already noticed this, and I'm sure it's more pronounced for women than it is for men, heat. So we do not retain heat as we get older as well as we did when we were younger. Now, I know women run colder than men anyways, and I get that, I understand that. So generally, and I'm generalizing, of course, women will usually have to have warmer gear than a man. Now, this doesn't matter what age you're at, but I will say this becomes way more pronounced as you get older, that difference, that disparity. So, and it is for men too. I mean, that changes over time with men. You will, as you get older, have not as great of an ability to regulate your temperature. Rest. As we get older, when we exert physically, and this is counterproductive to a normal day for anybody that's at an office or doing a fairly moderate job, we generally think we don't need as much sleep. Well, I'm here to tell you, on trail, you need more sleep than somebody who's younger. When I was 25 hiking, I mean, I could go out and do 30 miles a day. I wouldn't even think about it. And the thing is, I could stay up all night, get up in the morning and go do it again and not feel the worse for wear. Boy, are those days gone. But so anyways, and here I am, and I can easily sleep 10 hours after a day of hiking. If I put in 20 plus miles, I mean, I can be in bed, I can be asleep in like 30 seconds flat. But more importantly, and this is where the problem comes in, is 6 hours later, boom, it doesn't matter what time it is, 6 hours later, I'm up and I just can't sleep. I have difficulty sleeping. And I think what happens is, all your systems start coming up really quickly and you kind of have to go back to bed right away, right? Like go back to sleep right away and force yourself to get, well, for me, and I think it's different for everybody, but for me, it's 10 hours, 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night when I'm really pushing the trail hard is a good number. I feel good the next day. I feel like, and this is part of sleep, is recovery. I believe that we recover slower as we get older. Our muscles, our joints, our ligaments. Not only that, and I hate touching on this subject because I tend to go on a lot about it, and that's why they call me groceries. But our diets are a huge part of that. If we're sugar eaters, we are not getting the proper nutrients that we need to repair ourselves. So it doesn't matter how much rest you're getting if you are not feeding and nourishing your body and giving your body the ammunition it needs to avoid injury on trail. Trail can be pretty intense. And it's not that it's like high intensity short bursts like intervals like we do when we're in the gym. This is an ongoing chronic intensity that can go 12 hours a day. That is pretty jarring to our bodies. That is extreme. That's extreme for somebody at any age, but especially 40 or older. You really do start noticing that. And so when you're on the trail, in order to get that, to be able to use that rest to the greatest advantage, you also have to really pay attention to your diet. Because this is a through hike. We're talking about through hiking. We're talking about long distance hiking here. Something like that wouldn't hurt you if you hike for just a few days, because you haven't really depleted your body of the nutrients it needs. When I get out on a long trail, after about a month or so, that's when I start really noticing certain things. I notice that my skin changes. I notice that my hair is drier. My lips get more chapped. So basically, I have less grease. I have less grease in the pipes. Like, I'm not lubricating anything. My joints are sore. My knees get sore. And so I have to really pay attention, especially when I'm in towns and or resupplies, to number one, watch what I'm buying, eating, which is very difficult on trail. But along with all that garbage that we buy and eat on trail, my suggestion to you is to really try to, at least while you're in town, eat healthy, eat healthier. Now, I don't know what diet you're on, and this video, that's not what this video is about. But I will say that whatever works for you when you're at home, try to duplicate that the best you can when you're in a town. And I suppose that goes for any age, but I think it really does apply to the aging hiker. That, you give yourself the ammunition you need, you then can go and lie down and know that when you get up or within a few days, you're going to bounce back for whatever is bothering you. And the thing is, aging doesn't necessarily mean that you have to hike in pain. Okay, so like that is a myth that I hear people, I'm going to push through the pain because, I'm in pain when I'm at home, so obviously I'm going to be in pain on trail. Well, yeah, that may be true, but of course that may not be true as well. I mean, that depends on you. That depends on how you approach your hike. So yeah, just, really, really make sure you get enough rest. Also, intensity on the trail. Let's not forget that. Like I said earlier at the beginning, I don't do as many miles as I used to. Or if I do those miles, I spread them out longer. So that's the other suggestion I have for you. So for me, I will leave camp early or come into camp late. What's a good example? AT, even with the guys and when I was with the girls, like I would leave, or quite often I would leave an hour before everybody else. I'd be up at 4 or 5 in the morning and out of camp. And of course they would pass by me. But I could go longer, so that's how I made up for it. That's how I managed to still do those 20s and 25s regularly, was by just hiking longer, And so, but not as intense. That's kind of where I'm going with here, is that, we need to sort of curtail our intensity a little bit. We're not going to run up the hills. We're not going to do superhuman climbs where we're it's like jumping up 3 steps when you're going up a set of steps. You can hurt yourself very easily if you're not careful. And not just from slipping on trail and falling, but from just overexertion. The other thing I really do suggest you do as you're aging is your preparation for the hike. It would be better if you could train a little longer before the hike. Go for walks, try different elevations, climbs and descents. Make sure that you are in good shape physically for when you get there. I see so many people that don't do any preparation for trail at all, no shakedowns, no local, even just walking, and then they just jump off the plane, get on trail, and boom, 3 weeks later, they've hurt their knee, they've hurt their ankle, they got to get off trail for whatever reason. Now I get it, like I broke my foot last year, I had to get off trail, but I certainly wasn't in any, prior to that, I wasn't really in any pain or suffering that way. Of course, I was only doing 12s, 15s by then, but still, it doesn't matter. Everybody has their own tolerance level. Everybody reacts differently, to life on the trail. Make sure that you store your medications properly. I use a Nylafume liner in my pack. And so for me, with my COPD, I'm not going to do it this year because my COPD is gone. Any medications that you have, also, be sure to take care of them. Don't let them get wet. There is a shelf life on them. If you're going to be in extreme heat, maybe break up your medications and send them on down the trail so that you're not, because sometimes, like in the desert, for example, on the PCT, it can be 110 just like that by 10 o'clock in the morning. And again, I don't know about medications. I'm not a professional. I only know about the ones I take, which is like Spiriva, or at least I did before, and puffers. And I noticed that the Spiriva would in the heat of the sun, melt. It would be a plastic capsule or gelatin capsule, whatever it is, I'm not sure. It would melt. It would just turn into a little blob from the heat. And I don't know how many I lost that way by not paying attention. You know, I would try to carry like 2 or 3 months worth. Anyways, yeah, just take care of your medication, keep it dry, keep it safe, and if possible, break it into smaller pieces and send it on down the trail for you to pick up at regular intervals. Mental aspect. As we get older, we have, and some people will debate this, I suppose, but we have stronger connections, social connections. We have family, we have children, we have people that we're caring for, we have people that by being on trail for any length of time, you can get depressed on trail. You miss the people around you that you're used to seeing, and more so when you're aging. It's not so much that you're used to it or you're not used to it. I think as you age, you're more used to it, but it's not beneficial. We are social creatures. Literally, being in close to somebody creates chemical reactions that contribute to our health. Being alone out on trail all the time and not having that close contact with other humans, and I'm not saying you have to be intimate. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about literally just being around people. And I don't know what it is, but I do know that I'm healthier around people. If I'm by myself for a period of time, different things happen to me that make me, and on trail, and it happened last year for a while as well, when I was by myself. And so take time out of your day or your week, regular intervals, call out to family or friends, children, people in your circle. Stay strong mentally. Enjoy your hike. You'll enjoy your hike much more knowing that all your things off the trail are taken care of. You know, before you even go on trail, make sure your finances are in order. Make sure your health is in order. Make sure you've forwarded your mail if you live alone. Make sure you have a system for paying your bills. You know, anything that you can do to take stress off yourself while you're on trail will really contribute to not only your safety and your well-being, but your happiness. After all, this is an exciting thing. This is a hike. You know, this is supposed to be like a positive thing. Am I right? Come on, chime in, somebody, anybody. You know, and so you want to do that. You want to make sure that you've taken care of all of these things at home, at your work, all of those things. Other things you really have to take care of, and this might apply to everybody, but I'm going to cover it anyway, just so that it's a one-stop shop here. Traveling. Make sure that you're covered for traveling. A lot of people don't travel or venture out of their own country or their own area, and so whether or not you have the appropriate phone plan while you're out of the country, if you are out of the country, whether you have health insurance, out of the country health insurance. I know for me as a Canadian, I have what's called OHIP. I do have free health care. However, I only have it for 30 days when I'm out of the country. So pay mind to those types of things. Pay mind to things that may cost you more in the end if you say, for example, we're still at home in your own country. I have extended travel insurance that covers me anywhere in the world. Now I've been paying for it since I was 18, and I'm happy to have it. I mean, because I'll tell you right now, if I go out there and I break a leg on that mountain and I have to be airlifted out, I might be looking at 20 grand for somebody just to get me out of there and into urgent care. So just make sure you've got your, your contingencies. Also, in line with that, because we are older, maybe our reflexes aren't as fast. We go to take that little tumble, for example. Things do happen, right? Bring a satellite communicator if you can afford it, and if you don't mind carrying it. They're only a couple ounces. There's lots of them out there. They're great. Zolio's probably the cheapest, certainly the most efficient in bad weather. I've learned that the hard way. They're all good. They allow you to message. It doesn't matter whether you have cell service or not. You will be able to link it to your phone and connect and call out to your people. And especially emergencies, they'll come right away. It's all part of the plan that you pay for. This might, especially if you're alone. I suppose if you're with somebody, that's fine. But if you're alone, that's important. I do carry a Garmin with me. I didn't for years, and it was pointed out to me that I'm being kind of silly by not doing it, and I agree. So having that layer of protection is good. More on that. The new iPhones, the 14 and 15, they do have very limited functionality, but they do bypass cell towers and will put out an emergency signal through satellites. Now, they don't have the messaging and all that, like the Garmin's and the Zolios and the Spot, but in a pinch, they'll do. If you're really in trouble, and we all carry phones, it doesn't matter. Take it out of air. You don't even have to have it out of airplane mode, now that I think about it. And it's a good tool to have. It just makes you a little happier, makes you a little more comfortable on trail, knowing that you have contingencies should something happen. People get sick, you drink bad water. I mean, all kinds of things can happen. Norovirus, giardia, fall and trip. Lots of things can happen. Get attacked by a bear. I mean, it's endless. You're outside. You have put yourself in harm's way. So I mean, just take your time, right? Take your time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Let your body dictate what you're capable of, what your comfort level is. And I mean, just take your time and relax and be kind to yourself. Don't really be that hard on yourself. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. And that goes for every aspect of being on trail. Make sure that you're always in a good place. Make sure you're always safe, especially if you're a woman and you're solo like I am. I have to be very aware of my surroundings on trail. I'm not younger anymore. If I go to a strange town, I won't go out at night alone. I won't do any of those things. I'll make sure and take care of all my things and make sure I'm back in my room or my hostel or wherever I am, and I stay safe. And I suppose this didn't need to be said, but I figured I'd just throw it in there for austerity. I mean, it's important to make sure that you don't get robbed. Last year on the PCT, 2 people had their packs stolen. I won't do that anymore. I'll always have to have my pack within eyesight. We did that on the AT a lot. We just dump all our packs. 40 of us would go into a restaurant and leave our packs out front. I've never had anything stolen, but I've heard of people that did. And that's not good. I mean, and that's not restricted to any age. But I find that as you get older, you're less able to defend yourself against possible attacks and or robberies. So just be careful of where you are, what you're doing. You are a little older now. You're not as spry and nimble as you used to be. Unfortunately, age catches up to all of us. Death and taxes. It's just the way it is. You have to manage your time. You have to manage your day a little better as you get older, because certain things do take longer. Certain daily things take longer. And women, ladies, you know that too. And that's not limited to age as well, but still it's something that we have to be considerate of. I have laid over for days at a time when members of my family were sick or were injured. And I didn't mind doing that because I know they would have done that for me. This is part of the social aspect. Get involved in a tramway if that suits you. That's your call to make. Some people like to go solo. They're fine going solo. Me, it's either or. Really immerse yourself in the experience and don't allow the fact that you're getting older to restrict you and limit you. I mean, I want to be out there when I'm 90. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be out there climbing mountains when I'm 90. It may take me 5 times as long to do it, but hell, I'm out there, I'm doing it. That's it. If you're not moving, you're dying. That's the way I see it, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. You can use that if you want. You're welcome to use that. Because I think somebody else used it. Sorry, I'm in a mood. Anyways, I'm going to close off by just saying, just do everything slower. Take your time. Think about what you're doing. Prepare a little longer than you would if you were in your 20s. Do your training. Eat really well. Make sure you have enough nutrition. I know it's an never-ending battle, but we just got to keep doing it, and we just got to keep reminding each other and helping each other, and little tips and tricks that make your day a little easier, make the stress of the hike a little easier. Anyway, I hope that helped you. Please leave some comments below, because any comments you have, any way that you can help others, if you have ideas, whether it's gear related, whether it's your way of doing things on trail, let's do it. Let's get the community going. Let's get the dialogue open. We can help each other. I mean, this channel is here for everybody to take part in, and there's no reason why you can't connect with each other. And even with the live chats, we do get to know each other, and these are questions I'm more than happy to answer, or at least give you my take on it, because again, we're all individuals, right? So I'm yammering too much. Groceries out. Let's go get it.